Malaysia is an international non-profit organisation focusing on providing emergency relief, sustainable health-related development, and building resilient communities activities for vulnerable communities in both crisis and non-crisis situations. This academic study focuses on behavioral and ethical consideration in managerial strategic decision-making, which explores how managers make complex decisions influenced by values, ethics, psychology, and stakeholder expectation. In non-profit organizations like Mercy Malaysia, these decision-making challenges are especially significant because they must balance ethical obligation, humanitarian goals, and resource constraints. The question that we ask Mercy Malaysia is to know about how Mercy Malaysia applies ethical judgment under pressure, who they prioritize when resources are limited, and how their transparency mechanism shapes trustworthy decision-making.
Mercy Malaysia is a non-profit company that relies fully on funds and donations. How does your organization manage potential conflicts between donor expectations and the actual needs of beneficiaries when helping people? At Mercy Malaysia, we prioritize humanitarian needs above all else. Guided by principles of impartiality and neutrality, we often manage potential conflicts by having open, transparent communication with our donors. This includes providing data-driven needs assessment and real-time updates from the field to help donors understand the actual conditions and urgent needs on the ground. We believe in educating our donors while respecting their intentions. Whenever there's a misalignment between donor expectation and actual needs, we explain the situation with clarity and collaborate to find a common ground that still upholds our humanitarian missions. These practices are in line with superior humanitarian standard and the Red Cross Code of Conduct, which we strictly adhere to.
Now I will explain how Mercy Malaysia prioritize which country to assist when the resources are limited. At Mercy Malaysia, they prioritize country based on a need-based framework. Mercy Malaysia conduct rapid need assessment, particularly in areas affected by disaster or crisis. This assessment helps Mercy to understand the urgency and the scale of the situation. In addition, Mercy Malaysia assess potential risks and the overall impact intervention could have. When deciding where to allocate limited resources, they consider three main factors: how severe the humanitarian crisis is, whether they can access the affected areas safely, and whether they have the capacity to make a meaningful impact. Mercy Malaysia coordinate closely with global and regional bodies such as United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs and the ASEAN Humanitarian Coordination Center to ensure the support is aligned and strategic.
For the last question, we asked Mercy Malaysia about the steps taken to maintain transparency and accountability to both donors and beneficiaries. In the reply, they stated that they publicly publish their detailed annual reports and conduct external financial audits. We will later show the publicly published information that we have found. To ensure transparency to donors, Mercy Malaysia make regular updates and financial breakdowns for the projects supported by the donor. To enhance transparency and accountability to beneficiaries, they engage beneficiaries in program planning and feedback session. Internally, their staff and volunteers are required to adhere to a strict code of conduct and ethics. In conclusion, Mercy Malaysia maintains transparency and accountability through publicly available annual reports, external audit, and regular projects for donors. They also involve beneficiaries in planning and feedback while ensuring internal integrity through a strict code of conduct for staff and volunteers.
To conclude, our interview with Mercy Malaysia highlighted how strong ethical principles and strategic decision-making guide their humanitarian work. Despite relying entirely on donations, the organization stays committed to impartiality, managing donor expectations through open communication and data-backed need assessment. Where resources are limited, they are prioritized based on urgency, vulnerability, and feasibility, always ensuring the most at-risk communities are served. Finally, Mercy Malaysia maintains transparency and accountability through public audits, beneficiary engagement, and strict codes of conduct. Their approach serves as a model for ethical leadership and responsible decision-making in the non-profit sector. Thank you.